Okay, Lisa, how are you doing today?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, thank you. We're here to talk about The Bloody Man. I already spoke with Tuesday, and even though you guys were both in uh, Nightmare on Elm Street, she said you guys didn't actually see each other on set for The Bloody Man.
No, we don't have any scenes together. And in fact, she was flying out the day I was flying in. So yeah, we didn't even get to see each other. I mean, we talked, on the phone, whatever, but no, we were, but at least we're in the same movie together, right?
Right, right, yeah. That's it's funny. So you obviously you have a very um you have a lot of films under your belt in your career. I was looking at your resume. And honestly, there's some horror, but it's not all horror. But you're speckled with horror. So I'm curious if that is the genre that got you into acting in the first place, or if that's just something that happens to come up a lot in your work.
Honestly, I mean, my genre was theater. That's where I started, was theater. And then after theater, I did soap operas, I did sitcoms, I did episodic. None of it was horror related whatsoever. And even after I did A Nightmare on Elm Street, uh, even after that, it was some sci-fi stuff and then more episodic and more, but I would say, and then I left acting for a very long time. Sorry, I have to do this because it's bothering me. Someone called. So
No,
it's
you're
coming up on
totally
my
you're
thing.
totally
So I'm
fine.
like, go away. We'll talk to you later. And I'm talking to these people right now. Anyway, I love the word you use, speckled. My resume is speckled with horror. And I would say even more since I've gotten back into acting. Well, all you kids, that grew up on 80s horror and whatnot have grown up to be writers and directors and producers and whatnot. And, they loved Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th or whatever, it is. So, they'll reach out to me, folks will reach out to me and say, I have the script and I'm funded. And would you be interested in playing, Peggy or whatever,
Yeah, yeah.
So I would say in the last like 4 years since I've gotten back into acting, I've done more horror than I've ever done my whole life,
So I know that
which I love, by the way.
so okay, so you do love horror.
Oh
Um
yeah, I've loved horror since I was a little girl. Just
okay.
have always loved it. It's one of those things where Saturday mornings was cartoons. So my sister and I would be watching cartoons. Then the monkeys. Remember the monkeys? Hey, hey, we're the monkeys. Okay, then that was their half
I
hour
mean, I
show.
wasn't there, but I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about. So this is my experience. And then the rest of the afternoon, it was all Twilight Zone, black and white movies, vampire, Frankenstein, Dracula, all that stuff. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. So that's since I was like 10 years old.
Okay, that's awesome. And I had talked to Robert England. He's just the nicest guy. I know you were in both 4 and 5. I'm curious to what extent that you had worked with, I almost called him Freddie, with Robert himself.
So what's the question exactly? Like what?
To what extent did you work with Robert? Were you guys working on did you guys do your scenes together? Did you guys?
Oh yeah. Oh
Okay.
yeah. What you see on film is, oh yeah, that's he and I doing it. And we had a fair amount of scenes in both films actually. Um, and yeah, it was great. And we also did something called Fear Clinic. At first, it did become a film. I wasn't in the film, but it was originally like episodes, like a webisode thing. And that was really cool to work with Robert outside of the Freddy makeup,
Right.
right?
He's
And
such a
Danielle
nice
Harris was in
guy.
that too, and Kane Hodder was in it as well.
Nice. Yeah, yeah. Robert's such a nice guy. Such a nice guy.
Yes,
Um,
he's my
so
Uncle Robert.
so the as far as the Bloody Man, let's talk about that.
Hmm.
Um, I spoke with, like I said, I spoke with Tuesday, um, and I, watched The Bloody Man, and it was not what I expected. There's, obviously multiple, multiple stories, multiple angles here, um, which is interesting. So I'm curious if there was the whole script given to you when you were um, initially uh, given the role, or like uh, auditioning. Thank you, auditioning for the role, or whether or not they just gave you certain pieces. Like, did they give you all of each kid's story, or did you just have like your pieces of the film on the script?
Well, I did an audition. They just offered me the role. And I had met Daniel Benedict and his wife Cassie um, several times at conventions and whatnot, and just absolutely lovely people. And I just, so they sent me the script, and I loved it, and we made a movie.
Okay, nice. So how much, I know that you are not necessarily the main character. I'm curious how long your shooting was, and was it during the pandemic? Like, were you on set for like more than a month, more than a week?
No, I think I was there. We filmed in Kentucky, and I think I was there about maybe a week or so. Um, and it was before the pandemic. It was just before the pandemic. Yeah, yeah. So
Oh,
we squeezed in.
so did you end up um you ended up filming a lot of things between then and now, I'm sure, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw there was a lot in post-production. Um, but was The
Yes.
Bloody Man the first thing you did when you came back to acting?
I think it is actually. I trying to remember. Yeah, it would definitely be one of the first things I did coming back. Yeah.
Was it tough to get back into the swing of things? Because I think it was decades you were off, not to date you, at least a decade that you were off in
Yeah, it was
between.
like, a decade, 15 years. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Long
yeah.
enough to raise a kid.
Exactly, exactly. Until they don't want you around anymore anyway. So,
Right.
teenagers. Anyway, of course, they're now older now. But anyway, I think it's like riding a bike.
Nice.
It really was just, clicked right back in.
Well, you gotta act like your kids are behaving every day. So I'm sure that was
Right.
easy for you. So the Bloody Man then, what was it like working with the child actors? Is that the most experience you have with children actors?
Probably. I mean, I worked with child actors on Mr. Belvedere, and the little boy on that, I'm a teacher at school, and he's in love with me and has me over for dinner, and it's hysterical. And then his older brother. So I worked with them, but I haven't worked with kids very often. So, and work with, a group of them basically,
Right.
and it was just lovely. It was so fun. There's such like an innocence and an openness, and it's just so cool. Like, they don't have an ego, you know what I mean?
Right.
And it was really bonding. We bonded.
That's awesome. It's interesting that you didn't work with Tuesday at all. Were there a lot of actors and actresses that you didn't work with? Because I had spoken with KateLynn, KateLynn E. Newberry as well, and I know she's in the film. I was curious if you like. There's obviously multiple stories being told, so there's multiple characters in different scenes. I was curious if do you think you worked with half the actors, or was there so many rotating that you kind of just worked with the children and a couple other people?
um, I think I worked with pretty much everyone. And the reason I don't work with Tuesday is because the way the story is, and I don't want to spoil it.
And I've seen it. So I know
Yeah.
spoilers for no spoilers for the crowd, but yes, I know what you mean.
So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a reason why I don't have scenes with Tuesday's character. Yeah. So when
Yeah.
you all see the movie, you'll get it.
And I think when Tuesday told me when she initially auditioned for the role, she had auditioned for your part, and then it ended up being the way it is. So that's interesting.
Yeah. No, originally they had wanted me to play the other role and then got switched around, but I think it was better casting, honestly.
Yeah. So you prefer the way that it ended up?
I think it's great. I mean, I would have loved to have played her role too. Either role, you know. But no, I love the role I got to play.
So let me ask you about what you've been doing since you got back back and doing Bloody Man. What other kind of movies have you been doing that you can talk about?
Done quite a few. One, yeah, no, well, one, Mystery Spot. It's called Mystery Spot. I'm very proud about that film as well. It's a very heavy lead role, and we filmed in Hempstead, Texas, for a few weeks, and it has been very well received and wonderful reviews. And in fact, it opened in London actually, and then it played at Buffalo Film Festival, which is a big film festival, and I actually got nominated for Best Lead Actress. So I didn't win.
Well, that's awesome though.
But the film Mystery Spot, it was put in a horror category. It was really not horror. It's more like a Twilight Zone. So anyway, so that felt really good, believe me, to be getting back into the flow of things, you know. And then since I did work with Jamie Kennedy in a movie called Don't Suck, it's really funny. And I've gotten to work with Tom Sizemore a couple times recently. Won a Lifetime movie. Or no, that was Michael Madsen. That's Michael Madsen TV movie. And then Tom Sizemore, two things. One, Barbie Rehab. And there are actually billboards around LA right now, Barbie Rehab, which is a total outrageous adult parody comedy thing. Super fun.
I've seen something for it. I've seen something for it before. I think maybe it's handled by the same company that handles like the same press company. I'm not sure. But
yeah, I think they do have the same press company.
Okay,
yeah.
I was gonna say
October Coast, which is a great company.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's a comedy. And then I got to work with Tom in another comedy this year called Woods Witch, and it's outrageous fun. And I did a serious film where I play a nurse. That one I can't talk about yet, but it has a very well-known actress in it. That was great. And what, oh gosh, trying to think, but yeah, it's my plate has been very full. It's been absolutely fantastic. Oh, and I got to work with Reunion in Hell, and I got to work with Danny Hassel, who of course played Dan, my boyfriend in Nightmare 4 and 5, and Mark Patton from Nightmare 2. So the three of us got to work together for a couple weeks, and that was just amazing.
A dream, you know? If you will.
Yeah.
Not a nightmare, but
very fun. It was great. We filmed up in the mountains. It was gorgeous, and we had a really good time working together.
That's awesome. So Mystery Spot, you had mentioned, you said it's not necessarily horror. Is it like a thriller mystery type thing? Because you had
mystery. It's like a Twilight Zone.
Okay.
Like a Twilight Zone.
Yeah, because you had mentioned Twilight Zone. That's really cool. When is that coming? Do you know?
I don't know. It has.
I'll do the research.
I'll do the research. Yeah. Oh yeah. Look it up. Mystery Spot. But it's getting beautiful reviews, and they're trying to place where it's going to come out. You know, hopefully Amazon Prime. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay. So what are you hoping for your future? Obviously, we talked about your present. We talked about your past. What are you hoping for your future, other than the movies that you already have under your belt that are coming out? Are you hoping for any specific genre now that you're back in the game? Or is there any kind of person you're hoping to work with?
Well, I love that question because listen, seriously, I have played everything from nuns to prostitutes. I mean, you name it, I played, but there's two things I really, really want. I want to be a vampire. I want to play a vampire. Movie, TV, I don't care. Just want to be a vampire. And because basically my favorite, I loved the Dracula films. Like in college, the first year at UCLA, you had to stay in the dorms, right? So the girls, had like rock stars like Bruce Springsteen, that kind of thing on their dorm wall. I had Bela Lugosi, ginormous poster on my wall. Okay, they're like, that girl's kind of weird. No, I don't know. Back in the 80s, before horror and that became as mainstream as it is now.
Right.
So I want to play a vampire. Then I really want to do a Western. Never done a Western.
Never done a
Yeah.
Western. Huh. Interesting. Are you looking to be like a cowgirl? You just want to ride a horse? Like, what's your plan?
I think, like I run a hotel or I run a saloon or,
Got a gun under the counter, maybe.
got a gun in the cat. Yes, that's right. I just want to wear those costumes and the accent and just the whole, cowboy town thing, dusty, bring it on. And horses for sure. Oh yeah, I want to hop on that horse, and I do ride.
Nice. So is there anything that you want to plug social media wise for your fans that are watching, reading, and listening, or anything else that you'd like to plug?
Well, definitely, hopefully Mystery Spot will be available soon. In fact, I'm going to give the director a call today and touch base. And because he just sent something, he put something on Instagram. Mel House is his name anyway. Check out Mel House on Instagram. And sorry, I'm older and don't understand all the streaming stuff, but they have like, you can watch a film all together on, your iPad or whatever, and then you can make comments together and this and that. So anyway, apparently
like
this is happening.
Like a group watch live. Okay.
Yes. And so Mel put it up and he just learned about it somehow that this was happening. And the comments were just amazing. And so I'd say, go follow Mel House or check him out and you can learn more about Mystery Spot there.
Nice.
And I don't know how to put up what he was on his Instagram. And I will say too, I'm going to be updating my website soon, and it's lisawilcox.com. Wilcox.com. There is a lisawilcox.com, and it was a website set up like a zillion years ago, but the company is not fulfilling the photo orders, or I don't know what's happened to them. Excuse me.
You ready?
So Lisa E. Wilcox is where you can go, and I'll be updating. And I'm going to be at Flashback Weekend in Chicago in August. There's a whole slew of us there: Heather, Amanda, Robert, Toy, Brooke. There's going to be a bunch of us.
Flashback Weekend.
Flashback Weekend in Chicago. It's a big show, and then I'll be at Scarefest in October. And again, there'll be a great number of cast members too.
Nice. Where is Scarefest at? Just out of curiosity. Do you know where it's located?
I think it's Kentucky.
Oh, Kentucky. Okay, cool. Because I'm only a couple hours from the other one that you said, so I may swing by Chicago. So that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, come on by. Oh, it's a big show. It's a lot of fun.
Nice. So then I think that's pretty much all that I have. I know you're working on your website and you said you don't really, understand things, follow Mel House. You don't have an Instagram or anything that you'd like?
Oh yeah, I have Instagram, Instagram. My name is the Lisa Wilcox on Instagram.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely follow me there. I do Facebook. Unfortunately, my fan Facebook got hacked. I still have a friend page. but I don't post very much on Facebook. I really do Instagram. It's just some easier for me.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So then, is there any other things that that people haven't asked about? Just to wrap, anything people haven't asked about
Well,
Bloody
I would
Man?
like to talk just a little bit about an organization that I really believe in. It's called NAMI, which is the National Alliance for Mental Illness.
Oh,
And a member of my family was diagnosed with schizophrenia about 15 years ago. And NAMI actually offers a course for 6 weeks that's free to learn about, because the stigma against mental illness is just ginormous. And so NAMI is all about, and they have made amazing strides and awareness to remove the stigma. You know, so many people, 1 out of 5 have some kind of mental illness. Depression is considered a mental illness, you know, and so many people have fear, but what you don't know hurts you. Okay.
yeah.
So it just teaches you about, you know, schizophrenics. They're not all crazy, violent people and they kill people. You know what I mean? It's,
Right.
it's, it's, you know, everyone has this pre notion of, you know, what someone with bipolar is, you know,
Right.
and almost all of us have been touched by a friend or a family member that has some kind of mental illness. So I support NAMI, and I do that by okay, we all order on Amazon, right?
Right.
Sign up for Amazon Smile. Order everything through, it's the same Amazon, but Amazon Smile, and everything you purchase, a percent goes to the charity or organization of your choice.
And so NAMI is NAMI.
Yeah, National Alliance for Mental Illness,
I like
NAMI,
I like that a
NAMI.
lot. Now, does that just out of curiosity, does that I know that like obviously it includes a lot of trauma-based mental illnesses. Do you know if it includes like PTSD or people who are dealing with things such as that?
It's there's so many different kinds of mental illness. I'm sure PTSD is on there.
Right.
You know, it's a mental disturbance, you know. So anyway, I just encourage you all. And the Amazon Smile, it's so easy. You literally just sign up. You just put in Amazon Smile, and then they'll tell you what to do, and it's a snap. And then automatically you're making a charitable, you know, donation to, you know, the organization of your choice. So
That's awesome. Well, then, before I let you go, last, is there anything about Bloody Man people don't ask that you would like to say, um, or before we go, or do you feel like we pretty much covered it?
you know, Bloody Man, to me, what I love about it are the kids in it. And they're just so good. So it has this sort of Stranger Things, the famous Stranger Things, you know,
Right.
taste to it, you know,
Yeah.
and which I love. And I just finished the first half of
Season 4.
Stranger Things. Well, because I had to watch it because Robert is in it.
Oh, okay.
And then the next half of season 4 starts July 1st.
Yeah, it does.
So believe me, I'll be binging that.
And I found out it's only episode 8 and 9. I thought it was going to be a whole
Oh,
lot
it's
of
only 8 and
episodes.
9.
Yeah, it's only 8
Oh,
and 9.
okay, interesting. All right, well, I'm
Either way,
excited.
either way, yeah. Stranger Things is great. If you guys like Stranger Things, definitely check out The Bloody Man. And I really appreciate you taking the time to stop over and speak with us, Lisa.
This was great.
Well,
Listen, thank you.
thank you so much, and you stay safe.
Okay, you too.